I'ma keep it cool. With you I feel like breaking rules. On the edge, looking out with no parachute. You know I'm dreaming about us two, playing around without a clue. On the edge, cleaning out. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you just leave. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you.
Hi ladies! It is that time of the year where spring is right around the corner, which means it's time for spring cleaning. This is the list I have made for myself. What things I wanted to do. It's not gonna be for today because that would be way too much. I actually thought I'm gonna do more than I actually did, but I wanted to start with the fridge, freezer, and then in this video I'm also showing you microwave cleaning and light fixtures cleaning. So I definitely did not anticipate for my fridge and freezer to take me that long. I don't know, it didn't seem like it's gonna take that long. It's not like it was it's a big fridge or a big freezer, but it took forever, and to a point where when I was done with the fridge portion, I didn't even want to do the freezer anymore. But I did motivate myself with, you know what, I'm almost done. The freezer is much smaller than the fridge, so it shouldn't take as long, but it was definitely a task that took forever. I didn't think it was that dirty, but then some of the, you're gonna see in a minute on the very bottom, there was definitely a lot of gross stuff that I never saw. I try to wipe it down every weekend before we go grocery shopping, but clearly I did not get into all the nooks and crannies. That's why the fridge was definitely on my spring cleaning list. So let me know if you started spring cleaning, and also let me know what you do for spring cleaning. Do you do the same things every year? Do you have a list, checklist? I was gonna create something for myself and even offer it as a free resource for you guys for spring cleaning. But once I started kind of thinking about it, I looked up what other people have created, and I just found those lists overwhelming for me. They were so long that it made me feel like I never clean my house if I have to go through all of those tasks, and I didn't even want to start because it was just so long. So I thought about it and decided, you know what, for me, what's gonna work is to create a to-do list that you saw at the beginning of this video, and just list the things that I want to clean that I don't clean as often, or I have noticed they are just not in a good shape. So some of those tasks you saw were pretty typical. When you go from like winter to spring, you know, going through different shoes that we have for winter and outerwear, you know, jackets and snow pants, all of that. Washing my windows, I always like to do that during springtime, and I couldn't get to it in this video or even the weekend that comes after that because it was freezing cold outside. Now that fridge looks much better. So I had to kind of strategize how I'm gonna do this and have to wait for warmer weather to clean my windows. I want to clean them from the outside. So if it's below freezing, it just is not pleasant to do, and it's not possible unless you do use something that doesn't freeze on the outside. So it's just not something I was willing to do when it was so ridiculously cold. So hopefully next weekend I can get to the windows. But so things like that, you know, that I typically do, and then, you know, fridge, definitely wanted to clean, baseboards, just things that I don't kind of typically do on a weekly basis or even every once in a while. I wanted to get to them during the spring cleaning. So that's my plan for this year, make it as simple as possible and kind of customize it to what I think needs to be cleaned in my house. So let me know what you do for cleaning. Do you have a checklist? Do you use a resource from somewhere? Let me know how that goes and if it feels overwhelming or not.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd.
And if this is the first time you are watching my video, welcome. My name is Marta. I am a full-time working mom. I have a 10-year-old and 7-year-old, and along with my husband, we live outside of Chicago, which is why we really have to wait for a warmer weather for it to feel like spring. And I'm kind of anxious for the spring. I feel like winter takes forever to end. And I do definitely prefer warmer weather. I prefer to be hot than cold. Let me know if you are the same way. So I am always looking forward to spring, and this is kind of like a kickoff to the spring season, getting my house ready, refreshed, clean, and that kind of, I don't know what it is. It's something about the long winter always is more like on a laid back, maybe not lazy, but you have like more time to be at home, like coziness. And then spring is kind of this awakening for me, to spend more time outside. It's just something about spring for me. So I definitely do enjoy cleaning, but like I said at the beginning, I didn't want to make it overwhelming for myself. I wanted to enjoy and take it a little slower. As I was editing this video, it did feel overwhelming. That fridge just took forever. But then again, I was washing every single piece of it, and it definitely was very satisfying at the end once it was cleaned, and I know that everything in the fridge is clean. I got a chance to look through all the food that we had in there. I did not throw away a lot at all, which is probably, if I'm being honest, the first time ever that is the case. So I think that all comes from this whole decluttering journey. As I decluttered stuff around the house, I also changed kind of the way I look at how we buy food, how we store food, and all of that. So I don't buy as much food, or I also buy less variety of things. So I will, if I, for example, buy like dressing for a salad, I'll buy one kind, and when we're done with that, we can get something different, a different flavor if we are tired of this one. And that kind of helped me not to have so much stuff to like leftover that already expired. Now there were still fewer things here and there, but I think that just kind of helped me minimize a little bit and simplify things for myself, so there wasn't as much things to throw away. So let me know, I'm curious, how often do you clean your fridge? Like deep clean it, fridge, freezer, all of that. I'm really curious. I don't think I have like a set routine yet, but I would say probably at most twice a year where I do a deep cleaning of it. But I do wipe down every time, almost on a weekly basis before I do like a big grocery haul. And as you can see, it's not Pinterest perfect. There is still a lot of food. This is our food for the upcoming week. I didn't get to clean the fridge before I went shopping, but I know it's clean, and I know we're gonna go through all that food.
You were my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep, in your worn out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever. Driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in too deep.
And as I was cleaning my kitchen, I definitely thought about which room in my house requires the most cleaning, like on consistent basis, and that's definitely the kitchen. when I think about it, there are so many things in there, not only cabinets, but also like small appliances, big appliances, you know, under the sink, like there's just so much things, and it's a small one room, I mean, in the entire house, but I feel like a lot of items on my list were kitchen related and were the most time consuming. So I don't know if that is for you as well. I feel like kitchen is something, you know, I do clean every single day at the end of the day, but we also probably use it the most to get all the meals ready, to, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of it. So it gets used the most probably. Maybe that's the reason, but it just occurred to me how often I clean the kitchen and how there's always something to clean in the kitchen, whether it's small or big. It's definitely one of those rooms that requires a lot of attention. I feel like bathroom is probably the second, right after that, but bathroom for me doesn't require as much attention as the kitchen. That I don't know if I'm wrong here, but let me know what you think. Or maybe you do have another room in the house that's more time consuming to clean, but for me it's definitely kitchen. I feel like decluttered most of the things that I am going to declutter. There are still some, I think, well, I have one appliance, a small appliance, which is the Instapot, that I still have not gotten rid of. I think I used this thing twice. I use my slow cooker. I use that on a regular basis. And I got Instapot thinking that I will be using it, and honestly, I have not. So I'm giving this kind of, and every time I go through my kitchen declutter, I'm like, okay, next time I will, and I never do. Before I continue, this is the end result for all the fridge and the freezer. It felt so good to finally have it done. Like I said, it took forever, which is majority of this video. But back to the Instapot, let me know if you have an appliance that is giving you the same thing that you're not using, but it's hard for you to get rid of. And this is my microwave. I wanted to wipe it down. It doesn't get that dirty. I still have to invest in like a cover up for my microwave when I have food in there to cover it up, because my typical go-to is a paper towel on top if it requires it. But I wanted to wipe it down, and there was a lot of like crumbs between like the door and the microwave, and I tried to use the vacuum. It didn't get it out. So you saw me like doing the, I don't know what it's called, like easy off. Is it easy off? Air, I don't know, you spray like air into it to get rid of it. Yeah, that thing. Somebody recommended it for me when I was cleaning Legos, and now I found other uses within the house for that. So I just wanted to clean the microwave, and you're gonna see the last thing I was gonna do is the light fixtures.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between. So baby, we should start living now. 'Cause we only have this life. Wanna laugh and wanna cry. I don't wanna waste my time. So baby, we should start living.
And I was thinking as I was cleaning those if I have ever done this before. I don't know if I have, and if I did, maybe it was once. It's not something I recall vividly doing, washing those parts of the light fixture we have above the dining room table. I know I dusted. I put a duster inside of it to wipe off the dust, but I don't think I've ever washed it. And I could definitely tell the difference. I could not see perhaps like the dirt quite a bit coming off of it as I was washing it, but once I put it back on, you could definitely see that they were brighter. So definitely something I have to add to my, perhaps just like the spring cleaning routine. I don't think they have to be washed more often than that, especially since I'm doing dusting. but definitely something that has to be done more often than it has been in the past. And as I was putting the bag on, I realized I still needed to do like the actual light bulbs. Some of them had still some dust on it, so you're gonna see me grabbing a duster for that. But that will be it for this spring cleaning. There is probably 2 more videos on spring cleaning coming up. So next week I will be concentrating on cleaning one of the cabinets in the basement that needed some good declutter and cleaning, clothes, probably some houseplants, so just few things around the house to kind of get me going. And then we also have, like I said, all the winter stuff to clean off the clutter, and I have one more fridge to clean, which is much smaller. It doesn't have kind of like an overflow fridge, what we call it, in the freezer. So that's another thing I have to do. But after cleaning this one, I need a little bit of a break because it was a lot. So let me know how your spring cleaning is going. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Something about you.